Okay, there we go. Whew. A little bit sleepy. So hopefully you'll be able to bear with me. I'm gonna wait just a second to see if we've gonna have anybody come on. Just wait just a few minutes. On a little personal note, if I'm in a, I had to get out of the basement. Hey, Crystal, does it look okay? I thought I might have a better signal up here than it being all blurry like it was last time. So hopefully it cooperates. You got all your stuff ready and your paint water and paper towels and something to put your paint on. I read about all that stuff that you need besides just the stuff that you need to do the things to paint. So yeah, the dog's in here with me. I'm in the dining room. Okay. The kids are downstairs and everything, so yeah, well, hopefully it doesn't get too dark. It's still, the sun's still out for a second, and there's not, I don't have a whole lot of like great, like bright light in here, so hopefully you can see. But got the dogs keeping company, and hopefully they don't bother me too much because they just jump on my legs all the time. You're supposed to be holding them if get on him. Harper's over here too. And, see her, well, I don't know if it'll bend that far, but yeah, there she is. All right. Oh, thanks for sharing. Okay. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and get started for the prep work stuff. I got paper plate to put my paint on, and I've got my couple of cups of water, so my water didn't get too paint filled and then make a big old mess. I've got all my my paints and my actually using one of my painted glasses to put all my paintbrushes in, and then got paper towels, and I got my frame. So excuse me. So I'm just going to get started, and first off, oh, let me get my thing turned around here. Hello, if you just came in, thanks for stopping in. And just your first time paint with me, welcome, yay, thanks for coming. But I'm gonna turn you around so we can see the table, and hopefully this is gonna work out well enough. Well enough. Oh man, now I really can't see. Okay, all right. So here is the glass from the frame. Got my dining room table, since I'm up here in the dining room, to get this started. You can see the phone. I'm going to try to get this up here. And as long as we're not upside down, because that happens, try to get it to where you can see all right. And so that should, my hand might be a little way, but we'll be all right. Okay, so first off, when you do the painted glass stuff, it's always a good idea to wipe down the glass with alcohol, just to make sure that no fingerprints, no oils, no dust or dirt, especially coming straight out of the store, is on here. So we're just gonna kind of wipe that down. Whew, it's a little potent. All right. Okay, so what we're going to be doing tonight is, I meant that for anything we did last night up here, but we're going to be painting birch trees. And this, we're going to use a technique called reverse glass painting on one side of the glass, and then kind of regularly paint on the other one, like you normally would. So, okay. So got my glass prepped, got my water. I'm gonna start putting some colors over here. Let's see if I can get this over here like that. It's not loading. Oh no! Still not loading. Oh, thanks, Rosemary. Thank you guys for sharing. Is it still not loading? Am I frozen? Oh no. I got a sneezy dog and a freezy video. Hey, Jeannie. Thanks for coming in. Oh, thanks for likes. Okay. Can you see it okay? It's not pixelated. It's not freezing up or anything. Okay. Wait just a second. I see hearts. I see loves. Okay. See, something's happening and just hoping that it's not. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead. I'll just keep a lookout. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Say hello. I saw, oh, it's better? Okay. Anyway, so I'm just going to get started. So we're going to I'm going to start off with some of the colors that we talked about. So I'm going to do just a little, these are all acrylic enamel paints. They're made for glass and fabric and that kind of jazz. So some of them are the apple barrel and folk. I just got all kinds. But they're all the same kind of acrylic enamel paint, glass safe. So I got a light green. I've got, this is called Thicket. This is just a dark green. I'm gonna put that on there. The thing about this is, depending on kind of what you like, this is a aqua color. Depending on what kind of season or kind of feel that you kind of want to go for, you can kind of use any color that you want. You'll see that it's just, we're just going to use some variations as long as you've got kind of a light and a dark, some different hues kind of going on. Well, all right, so, and this is just this is milk chocolate. Okay, so we're just going to do this. And then, I don't know if you can, hopefully it's bright enough in here. So, everybody can see. So we're just going to probably use a lot of white. So I'll put that on there. And then this is just a wine color, but this is just going to help me darken up that brown a little bit between the green and the wine color. Oh, excuse me, got a little bit of dry throat. All right, here we go. Hey, Virginia, thanks for stopping in. Hopefully you'll be able to kind of come back, and if you didn't have the opportunity to get the supplies this time, that you kind of come back and kind of go through. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to start with the back, and then we'll flip it over and we'll work on the front. So when you do the back, you want to work from like what you'll see first, like the front, and then work your way back. And that's reverse glass painting. So I'm going to use this brush. You can kind of see that it's a little rounder at the top. And I think is the picture that we saw, and I'm just kind of go with it. I'm going to put some trees in this area that that are more kind of faded. I'm just going to kind of take some of that white, like so. We're just going to mix a little bit up in there, and then, oh, you know what I need? Black. All right. Can't forget about that. Here we go. All right. pretty important for your birch trees. All right, so, okay. So I'm going to take this, and then let's see, I'm going to use, I think, a little bit of this brown just to kind of mute it a little, and maybe a smidgen of this little light green. Now, you can just make them gray if you're like in the cooler colors, like, but you just see it's just a little bit duller than that bright, bright white that we're going to use on the front. So, but this is just to give it that appearance of fading into the back, to the background. And, okay, we're just going to do like that. So I've got that color, kind of just a color mixed in. And again, we have to remember front to back. So the birch trees have that little bit of the, you know, the blacks that comes in on the side. So I'm going to take straight up black, and thinking that it's going to be a little bit more muted, I'm going to take a little bit of the white and just kind of gray it down just a little, just so it's not so stark black. Probably put a little bit of brown in there too. Okay, so here we go. We're going to get started any second. All right, so I guess it'll probably, but it doesn't really, again, doesn't really matter. I've got this in kind of a landscape instead of like this, you know, it being portrait straight up and down. I'm going to start with it on the side. And then, yeah, okay. So we're going to start with our first trees. And we're going to just do the sides and then the lines kind of on the, that go across the middle. So, and again, if you kind of mess up and you don't like something that you did, just remember, you can wipe it off. It's the cool part about doing it on the glass. So since these are further back, I'm just going to make them smaller. You see that? I'm just going to first just do the lines. Like so. So I know I'm going to have a tree here, and maybe one, I don't know, over here maybe. They just kind of go straight. They don't have to be perfectly straight. I'm just going to kind of give a wibble wobble. Maybe one a little bit closer to that one, like so. Like that. Okay. All right. So then with the birch trees, this is where the fun comes in, and you just kind of, let's see if I can put this close like this. We're just going to make the lines that go across, and they can be fat, they can be kind of like small, they can come from the left and the right, they can be bigger, doesn't really matter. Cool, and they can kind of go down like that, and be close, far away. And just kind of not give it too much thought. Don't stress out about it. Even if you kind of go over your line, that's fine too, because they do that where the little buildup of the dark is. So you can even kind of take it over the edges, and that will even kind of give it more of that authentic birch tree effect. So again, see, just kind of have fun with it. Got to cut my dog's nails. All I hear is click, clickety, click, click. They're walking around. Okay. If you have any questions, just let me know. If you're kind of, if you mess up, like if you feel like you've gone too far over, if you like grab a paper towel and, sorry if the glass tinking, got it right under there. You could take your paper towel and just kind of just wipe it off the glass. That will work too. Or a Q-tip. Q-tip will work. Okay. So now I'm gonna just let that dry for a little bit because we want to go over that with the white. So now we get to the fun part. Okay. So we want the lighter colors first in the foreground. So we're going to just kind of go straight in. We're not going to dull it down. We're not going to gray it or change it. I'm just going to go straight in with this green and start just dabbing it on there just like this. Just like so. You can, and if it's a little bit it doesn't have to be completely opaque because we are really just dabbing it. Dab. Oh, I got blue. I don't know how I did that, but I did. But that's okay. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at something else. Oh God, my dogs are gonna start fighting. Okay. Somehow I keep putting blue in there. Okay. So, and you kind of want to, I mean, you can like take it and just kind of sparingly travel, kind of with the color across, but you kind of want to bunch up like you've got a bunch of, like a grouping of leaves like on branches. So, do a little grouping in here. It's okay, Harper. Okay. Can you see all right still? Okay. Boop, boop, boop. What we're going to start doing here in just a second is we're just going to start layering up colors. Okay, so now you don't even have to take all the paint out of that brush, but you can if you want it more of a kind of a pure color. If you've got, you can do, at this point, if you've got a light brown, you can add some of that in here. Just, whoops, dark green, don't want that yet. And you can just kind of dab it on the in-between. And so now you can see, like, if you wanted more of a fall look, you would add some reds and oranges. You could have more of a winter by going at using pastel blues, purples, pinks, that kind of thing. I hope everybody's doing good so far. Okay, so there is some there. Okay, so I'm going to come in here with these little blues, the aqua color. I'm going to go in here with those. Just for the moment, I'm going to try to stay away from the tree trunks because I want the white to, I mean, it's not a big deal if you kind of go over because it will just kind of look like the leaves go over the front, but I don't want that to happen quite yet. So, let's see. I'm going blue and orange. I didn't bring an orange, so I'm going to take a little bit of the brown. And I'm just going to bring this color down just a little bit because now we're working our way to the back, further in the back of the leaves. So it'll be a little bit grayer. It won't be as bold. You can take even a little white, mix it in there and lighten it up a little bit. I'm going to use a little grayer. If you know your color wheel and say you're graying your stuff, like the opposite of blue is orange. That's kind of why I use the that kind of light brown. That's the closest I've got on my plate right now. And that will kind of just, without putting black in it and trying to like make it darker, it's just going to just dull it down just a little bit without making it muddy. And we are filling in this trees here. I'm just going to flip it over. Let's see how it looks so far. Probably pretty much like it does on the other side. So we've got variation going on here. Okay, I think we got like, because this is, again, remember this is the background. Okay, so I'm just gonna, there we go. Second one. Now let's see, I'm going to start using, I believe, some maybe darker blue. I'm going to put a little bit of this red in there, the wine color. Kind of looks purple on the camera, but it's like a blue. But it's going to be purple now. All right. All right. And purple and green. So yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of this green. That is going to dull that down just a little. Again. Okay. That way we can create some shadows back here. I forgot tonight. Can you keep this video? Yeah, absolutely. You could probably, I mean, you could definitely do this on a, but yes, it will definitely stay up and you can come back to it later. Not a problem. You could do this on, if you had a canvas or something or some paper, you can do it on there. It doesn't have to be glass, but you just have to kind of build it up instead of doing of course, the reverse part that we're doing on the glass. Okay. No, you hear my dog. I'm so sorry. Okay, so here we are so far. We've started to create some of the shadow. Got Himmy, Harper. You guys, cut it out. Shh. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. Okay, so here we go. This is our forest, kind of dark green. We go in here. We're going to start filling in here. Let's create some shadowy areas. Dogs. Gotta love them. Gotta love those silly, silly dogs. All right. Now I think, yeah, we are good to go over with our white color that we made over our birch tree chunks. Crystal, you and Chrissy doing okay so far? If I need to take her slow down just a little bit, you let me know. So with this, because I know that it hasn't had a whole lot of time to dry yet, I'm kind of, instead of dragging over it, I'm kind of dab. But if you are going to not be doing this under time constraints, you can let it dry and then it won't matter. Really take your time. So, but we're just gonna just dab just a little bit because it's dry to the touch. Okay, cool. Awesome. No, Harper. Don't huff at me. You silly. Okay. Alright. Oh, yeah, see? But I was like, I could tell I just picked up a little bit of one of the leaf colors on the, I'm going to sit right here, see if you can see it. So you can see how it's the stuff, and you can kind of see right here where it kind of streaked down, but that's kind of cool. It's going to kind of create a shadow on that side, so I am not mad at it. It can kind of streak and do what it wants to. It's fine. It's just not a brush out of my hand. Okay, so we're going to do this one. See, again, we're going to pull that green down. You see it right there. It's not too bad. Whoops, just hit my phone. Okay. All right. So there is that. Let's flip it over, see how we're looking so far. Looking pretty good. Yeah, see? All right, so let's check this out kind of. I think now what I want to do is add some lighter colors around here. And then, and I do know because there's going to be a big tree through here. I'm going to create some more of the birch trees. So now I'm just going to go through and do some like lighter, very muted colors just to add a, whoops, a little more variation. I just got where I spilled that brush. Okay. So I'm going to take, I think, white, maybe a little bit of this aqua color. We're going to make it really light. Get real. And maybe a little bit of brown. Just so we can make this like a smoky, a light smoky blue. Okay. Okay. We're just going to dab in the in-between here. You can go bigger. You can make splatchy splotches. Absolutely, Crystal. Definitely want to see what happened. How you and Chrissy did. That'd be great. Okay, so now that I don't have to be as careful where we went over the trees now. So I'm just gonna bad. I'm just gonna go through all these like little. Now you don't have to fill it all the way up. I mean, in theory, you could. Because I think like you could go over, which I think I'll do once we do the front and flip it over. Hopefully it won't, it'll still be, it'll be dry a little bit. And then you can just kind of brush in and fill where you've got like little holes and stuff. I feel like, so we've got blue here, we need some here, maybe, right there, and up top. Just kind of just balance it out just a little. All right, so I'm going to take, I've got little, Crystal recognizes these things. I was like, I had to find something besides to like prop it up. So if you don't have anything to prop it up, I'm going to give you a minute. And let me know when you're ready, because we're going to flip it over and start working on, and if it, you know, if it gets on, you know, whatever, like just like that, like that brown isn't quite dry, you know, not a big deal. You know, you can come back and fix it. Just make sure that you're balanced enough. So, just gonna wait just a second. And whenever you're ready to move on, let me know. So right now, so far we've got, so you guys kind of, you got like a mix of foliage. You got some shadows going on here along the floor. You've got some trees, some birch trees here in the forest in the background. And we are going to start working on the foreground. This gets to be a little bit easier because it's a little more normal, how you would normally do it. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to paint. The trees will be bigger because they'll be closer to us, and then we'll fill in with some of the colors where we want to, you know, fill in any kind of gaps or anything like that. You can do it on the front of the glass. So, all right. Just gonna wait just a second. Make sure everybody's good to go. Just make sure I'm not frozen. Everybody good? Here. Anybody have any questions at the moment just yet? No? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. We shall continue on then. Okay. As long as everybody can still see and there's not anything going on, I'm just going to flip it back on around. Here we go. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So as I tend to do sometimes, I've got my white pretty junky, but it's not a big deal. To make this go a little bit easier, if you've got like a medium size type of like a flat brush like this. Okay, Virginia. If you like that one was completely dry, and to do that, it will help if you wet it just a little bit, just so it's just a little bit damp, but not leaving any water behind, but it's just a little damp. It'll just help it go on a little smoother. So I'm going to take some of this white and just make sure that it's white and I'm not doing anything, putting any blue or black in it, which is exactly what's fixing to happen. Squirrel. For some reason, this folk art enamel, the white, is crazy thick. Okay, hey girl, we can, you just let me know. I'll just wait just a second, and I'll like annoy one of the dogs or something. Put them on here, and they've been bugging me. They keep trying to jump up in my lap this whole time. So, okay. So this time, I am just gonna, it's just the white. I mean, you can put a little color in it if you wanted. Like if you really had a, like a color direction, or like if you were doing a fall color scheme, adding a little bit of yellow to the white would just warm it up, just that, give it that fall warm. My old guy is gonna start crying here in just a second. So okay, so medium sized brush, man. I've got this thing like loaded up like nobody's business. And because I know it's like my frame particular, it's got a little bit, I mean, I don't have to take this all the way to the edge, but if it's easier for you to do that, absolutely do. And you, so I'm going to make one that's going to kind of go at an angle. And again, does not have to be perfectly straight. Just like, I'll give that one a bump. Just like so. Look at that. So there's one tree. And with this one, our next one, we will, let's see, maybe kind of make him go just a little bit smaller and make him go out, up, like this. And out. Whoop. Okay. 2 trees. Okay. And then we'll do another kind of bigger one back here. And give him like a little kind of hoop. Here you go. Here's your happy trees, Virginia. Okay. All right. So this one, little guy, he is not as kind of, I'm fixing, this is always on the glass. It's such an annoyance. You try to go over because it just wants to keep lifting up sometimes. And you try to keep working it and it just doesn't want to cooperate. So, cool thing with birch trees, you can go this way. All right. So he's going to be filled in just a little bit more. And then, just to kind of, I'm going to put another one right here to really give that effect of, you got these trees and those trees. Okay. So, now that I'm doing it, I just said that I want to make these bases a little bit wider, like this. Okay. tell where this one is going to look a little bit wider through there. And again, the kind of the variation in the like the brush strokes and stuff is kind of making the light and dark areas, and that's totally fine. It's kind of cool. You kind of want that because it'll again give that kind of a bark look. Yeah, it's kind of, it opens up some kind of cool possibilities with doing the glass painting, being able to have, you know, the both sides, and then even having you know, being able to paint a background like we did with the Eiffel Tower last week, and being able to, you know, do like a watercolor, and then having kind of doing a mixed media. You know, you can have watercolor and you know, an acrylic. Yep. I'm gonna do this again. So, I know these just look like white stalks right now, but I'm gonna see. Well, let's see if we can bring in a little bit closer for a second. But I don't think you can see it. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of going over from like left to the right. I'm not going over the edge, and just kind of dragging my paintbrush through that paint, and it's kind of making this, like, if you get it real thick, which you can with this, again, if you're painting on a glass and we were going to bake it in the oven, you would not want to put it on this thick right away because it will bubble up and it will look terrible. But we're not going to put this in the oven, so don't have that to worry about. So you can like layer it on there and really give it, like Hemingway, no thank you, some texture by really loading that, whoops, paint. I'm pushing on it too hard. Get too into it. All right. Hemi, I'm gonna call somebody. Okay. So we got that going. Hey, Kara. All right. So now we shall take our, please don't, I just heard a dog not sound great. Okay, so I'm going to take my liner brush like so. And now with this, because we're in the foreground, the trees are brighter, you can go straight black. I'm going to try to move this up just a little bit so you can see. Sorry. Hemi, you okay? Yeah, sneezy dog. Okay. Can you guys hear him? Just snorty like a little pig. Okay. So I'm just going to load my brush up with some black. And we're going to do kind of like we did here. And try to lift this up so we can see. Where are we at? Like that. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to take this black up. Whoops. Some wet white paint. Okay. And just kind of random. Again, you can go over the edge a little bit. Hemi, you okay, buddy? Hemi, you all right? You're okay. You're okay, bud. Oh my gosh. Okay. So. Alright. There, let's do like a little dollop. Here we go. So you can kind of do as much of this or as little as you want, and even kind of making it, giving it kind of different variations on the different trees will again give that feeling of the randomness. Get something in your throat, bud. It's just on a roll. Okay. See, when I'm downstairs in the basement, when I've been doing videos, they find like I get them a pillow, and they sleep the whole time. So we don't give, sneezy fits and stuff. But. So I'm just gonna that. All right. So on this tree, what I wanted to do is like put an initial on it. So I am not going to go as heavy with the black on that one. I'm going to want to have enough room on there. So we're just going to kind of go left to right. I mean, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, I think I want to do that. I'm going to add a branch coming up from there right here. So, go a little back and forth here. This is the wrong brush. That's why that's not working so good for. I was like, why is this going well? It's because I don't have a flat brush. That's why it's always nice to have the right brush to do what you need it to do. All right, there we go. That's better. All right. Gonna give him a little knobbies up there. Okay. All right. We shall continue on. They're black. I think he's done. Oh my gosh, Jimmy. All right. So you're gonna go like this. Bring it up like that. Wrong. I was wrong. Okay, so adding this branch, I thought that this will make some interest. Depending on where you put your black is going to kind of dictate, is it coming from the back? Is it coming from the front? And I think that I want it to be coming from the front. So I'm going to take and start kind of in the middle here and go up the branch. Like so. And right here, and bring it up like that. Okay. And get on his knobs. Boop, boop. Okay. So again, I would think right here, I want to put the hearts with the like carved initials. So I'm going to kind of avoid doing it too heavy through there. I might take, it's wrong. Okay. Go like that so it doesn't, all right. So there's two birch trees. Hope everybody's hanging in there okay. Okay. Just for time constraints, he's okay. I promise. He gets really like sneezy and coffee at night. You could add shadows, kind of out, and maybe I'll try to do it just to show you how. But you would just kind of take that flat brush, make a little like a light gray, and just try to drag it in on the side. Almost there. Okay. I'm gonna do this guy over here. Oh, it's running out of black. All right. Just gonna speed up just a little. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not talking that. Okay, I was just trying to go a little bit faster. Okay, so there we go. I need to move. What way? This way. Okay, just a little bit. Boop, boop. Oh, it looks so cool with the light through it. Okay. Maybe that's what one day I will graduate to putting lights behind, I don't know, behind things. Not quite, a little centered. You know what, we're just gonna, boop, right there. All right. Okay. All right, are we doing good so far? Okay, so real quick, I guess I'll show you how they'll, because there's a couple of things that you could do at this point with just with the trees before we start adding the foreground foliage. So you can, whoops, add the shadow where you would just take, you know, obviously a little black and a lot of white. And if it's a little streaky, not a big deal. You might even could take some brown. Just add, it would just add, I'm sorry, I thought it was, so pretty kind of light-ish gray. We're going to go in for this one. I'm going to hang this brush. I'm going to go really light touch and say that I want, you know, some, just kind of drags. You know, this would be better if the black was dry, but a little bit easier, but this is just for example. Just kind of, you can see up here where it just adds that little bit more depth, just the shadows. And And since with the birch stuff, I mean, you can even take that gray and just kind of move it in there because they've got, you know, the different kind of bark. These are some really easy, and you can kind of, they're easy trees to paint, or I think. It's just because, you know, there's so much you can kind of do with them, and kind of have fun at, you know, and it's the stark contrast to that white, the white and the black that I keep picking up black on stuff, so and it just doesn't take much to have them kind of really be impressive, to really get that feeling across there. Okay. Okay. It just gives it that little bit more little character. And then if you want to take the brush that I can't find, again, your liner brush or your little detail brush, you can take stuff like the brown and kind of go in and just add that to, you know, the blacks. Even while they're still wet, it'll kind of blend in together. Or dark green. And use that to give a little bit more depth there. Do the big glob of green, it's cool. Anyway, so yeah, so you could do all kinds of different fun stuff just to add that little bit more color, a little depth, a little more character to the trees. You know what? I just realized what I've just done. I could have filled in my spot that I wanted to for the carving. Okay, it's cool. All right. So you can see I guess you can kind of see the difference between these two trees that I've just kind of doctored on. Yeah, I mean, with the outline on the trees, you know, you can really let go. You could even take that black, which I'm about out of over here. And I probably would add like a little, just gray it down just a little bit, just so it's not like just black, full on black, but and just really, you know, get your tip not too heavily loaded, and then you can just gently, again, it doesn't have to be solid, but just kind of come in and just identify those edges. But if you like it kind of that white contrast, white, black, without all the stuff that, you know, you can kind of leave it like that too. Again, no right or wrong. But, you know, we'll just make these little edges pop. And again, I'm just kind of letting, and where it does want to kind of drag, I just let it, and it's because it doesn't have to be completely solid. I'm just kind of letting the brush do, you know, thick, thin lines. You know, I'll probably go in later and, you know, add more of this stuff in here. I don't know how you guys are feeling. There you go. Oop. Two, one more. Just take it and drag it on down. Oop. There you go. All right. Okay, so now, ding, ding, ding. All right. We will start with that, with our, I think, start with the blue and kind of get this in here, but we're going to go just straight on aqua since we've got the shadow back there, and we're just going to dab over it. And just let that shadow peek through there. Here. Okay. Now you can layer and layer and spend as much time, you know, getting these colors just layered up. Use as many as you want. Just you just make it full on solid. I'm going to take a little bit of this wine color, I think. Let's try that. Yeah, this has a little bit of red contrast here. I'll like make this like the ground. I'm sorry. I don't know if he would have. Is it Harper? What are you doing? Okay. Okay. And then I want to take a little of that brown color. Just dot that in here. Kind of like forest kind of floor. Okay. You can also take that, the little brown, and we're going to go up here and just kind of add it around the tops of the trees. Here. It's okay, Harper. Okay. Just maybe take right through here. Okay. Then I am going to lighten this center part up right through here where I want to, where I put too much stuff. If it'll let me. Which I'm thinking I'm out of white over here, but okay, and now we're going to go in and we're going to add some green, dark green through here on the top. Since we're going to put the light green over the top of that. Okay. forgot to bring my yellow up here because I was planning on adding a little more like a yellow green in some of these areas, but I forgot it. But you can do that. You can mix your yellow, you know, little yellow and your green and have that yellow green shine with these dark, you know, the darker colors. It would like really pop. So now we're going to go through and just really lay in some of this, the green, over the top of the lighter color foliage. Foliage. You can even take it over the top of your tree a little bit. But see now where we've kind of gone over, and you can see where are the trees that we initially put in here, like way far back in the woods there. Again, this is more kind of a impressionistic. You kind of do what you want. Okay. And I think I am about almost done. Yay! Okay. All right. Now the cute thing I wanted to do was, and like I said, I think I'm just going to take some white right out of the bottle. Take. I'm going to go right here because I wanted this to be a little more light. Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna did that. I'm gonna put a heart. I just trace that in there real quick because what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of white, a little bit of black, and just make a little bit of shadow so it'll look kind of carved in, and just give it a little bit more depth right here. Put in a heart. Oop. Oh. Hopefully, I just did not make that too small where I can't put the letters in there. Okay. If I did, again, I just paint over it with white. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to put a P for Patrick. That's my husband's name. P plus M is going to go in there. Just a second there. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. So just to accent that a little bit, I'm going to use the kind of that golden kind of brown and just kind of go in. Just kind of. I had an idea initially that I was going to, which I still might, that might just add a little bit more. I've got a gold, and again, just like you can just kind of accent it with the brown. Or a little bit of green. You can just kind of go in there. But I want to take this gold and just kind of fill it in there. So it'll just kind of shine. I don't think it'll be like too like, I'm gold. But when it's all framed up, I think it'll like really kind of pop a little bit. Just give it a little extra something. All right, boop. This and in. All right, how's everybody doing? Oh, and what I always forget to do is to sign. Don't forget to sign your name on your art piece. So I just usually will put something like this. I'm just going to put my initials. Boop. Just like that. Down there in the corner. All right. So there you go. Pretty cool. I'm just going to bear with me. I'm going to take you off the mount so we can get in there a little closer so you can see, you know, the depth. So there's our trees that we kind of started with way back there. And all the, you know, the effort we put into making all that depth with the shadows and filling that in. All right, and so here's the, it's probably going to be backwards, but kind of see all the variation and the different colors. Like so. Kind of cool. There's your little initials carved into the tree. And yeah, there you go. That's it. I'll show you the frame I got for this. I'll probably a white frame or a wood frame would look really good. But I found this kind of smoky gray, like so. Looks pretty cool. All right. Okay, I'm gonna flip you around. Whew. Oops, my finger's in the way. So, how'd everybody do? I'm gonna try to put the phone back on the mount. Let's see how this is gonna do. Just bear with me 1 second. And try not to put my hand in front of the camera. All right. Okay. I was gonna, what did it do? Did it flip? It flipped around. Sorry, hold on. There it goes. I pressed the flip. All right. You ready? Did you follow along okay? And I hope it didn't move along like too fast. And I know it starts to kind of get like a little long-winded, and but I think it's pretty cool. And you know, around an hour, you get like a pretty good. My battery's going dead. It's a sign. But yeah, I mean, I think you just made that in a little less than an hour. I mean, how cool is that? I got stuff sticking to the back. I mean, I think that's pretty good. And then with the added, like, you know, that depth back there with the trees in the back, it turned out really neat. Oh, hey, thanks, Sherry. So, if you did this, Crystal and Chrissy, I know you guys are following along. I would love to see it. So, you know, share it on my page or tag me in it. And thanks, Sarah. And let me see how you did. I just love to see what you guys did, because it always is going to look different, you know, no matter. Awesome. Yeah, it's just amazing where, you know, kind of this more free form things. I mean, your style is really able to kind of come out. Oh, sure, it's great. I'm always critiquing myself, like, oh gosh, it could be so much better. No. I'm sure it looks wonderful. Oh, hey, Mona. Oh, love you too. But yeah, this or yeah, like watch the video later. You know, pause it if you need to. I mean, really, it's just building up your colors, and it's really workable. So, I hope you had fun. Thank you for coming to paint with me. And I hope you enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what you guys did. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. I gotta go check on my sneezy dog, see if he's okay. They all disappeared, and that's all. It's like having children. Like when it gets quiet, that's when you get really nervous. But anyway, have a wonderful evening. We're gonna do something else next week. I'm not real sure. I never know. Probably, usually until like the day before I make a decision. But we'll do another project next week. Tune in at 8 o'clock on Wednesday next week, and we'll see what we come up with. But yeah, thank you guys. Have a good evening.